Thank you. Thank you, Marakuzi. We now invite the Honorable Minister, His Excellency Olivier Dujirehe, to make a remarks.
Thank you very much. Excellency, Madam Minister Sahabe Solo Nyati, thank you very much for receiving me in your beautiful country. It is my first time in Liberia, and I was impressed about how I was telling you how green it is, and we are satisfied by our cooperation. And we have now signed two MOUs, one on waiving visas between our two countries, which is in line of our African spirit to improve free movement of people on our continent. And we have also signed an MOU on Joint Permanent Commission, which we hope will structure our cooperation to allow us to review on a regular basis the project, the MOUs, and other agreements signed between our two countries. These two MOUs actually follow 4 other MOUs that were signed. MOU in cooperation. There was in 2008 an MOU in defense cooperation. In 2018 we had the 2 MOUs that were signed. One on bilateral air service agreement, and another one on cooperation between our 2 tax institutions, the Rwanda Revenue Authority and the Liberia Revenue Authority. And last year with my brother Ibrahim in Kigali, we signed an MOU establishing a general cooperation agreement. So we have now have the tools to move forward in our cooperation, and we hope that we'll sign or explore other areas on which we can sign cooperation, like the double taxation agreement, which will also be important, and also establish business to business relations, because what is the most important as Africans is to trade among between ourselves, taking the momentum of the African Continental Free Trade Area, and also share experience. You know that Liberia and Rwanda have tragic histories of conflicts, but we managed to come out of those conflicts with the peace building, with consolidation of peace, unity and reconciliation, programs of demobilization. So we think that we can continue sharing our experience. Actually, I think the Deputy Minister of Liberia in charge of research and I think human development is in Kigali now in a session to share our experience. So we really believe in sharing experience between African countries, and in this regard we once again congratulate Liberia for your election a non-permanent member of the UN Security Council, which will be an important moment for you as a country that has lived conflict and that knows the solution or the challenges that you are faced in finding solution or long-term solution for to end conflict on our continent. Rwanda, as a country that has also lived the tragedy, but that also served in the UN Security Council. We are ready to cooperate with you, to share experience, to provide whatever information we have, so that as brothers and sisters we can work hand in hand to find solutions to conflicts on our continent, and also to move forward with the socio-economic transformation and integration that we want between our two countries on our continent. So once again, thank you, Madam Minister, and thank you for the warm hospitality and the facilities available to me and to my delegation.
Thank you, Maraposi, Mr. Minister. Now, remarks by Her Excellency, Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Liberia.
My brother, Excellency, it's so good to receive you in Monrovia. We were just together, I will say a few days ago. We were just together a short while ago, and we had the opportunity to visit a country together in exchange with that government in Singapore in relation to their development trajectory. Very interesting. And when I think about that experience in Singapore, where you and I shared a few moments, I can't help but to think about Rwanda and think about the transformation that has happened in Rwanda. And I'll tell you, I'll use the opportunity, Excellency, and your team, to share my own experience in Rwanda. In 2007, I went to Rwanda as a member of the team on the HIV implementers meeting. And on the way to Rwanda, many people questioned why Rwanda for such a huge meeting. Rwanda doesn't have the capacity. We're over 23,000 going to Rwanda. And being part of the senior team of the UN I was going at that time, there were many statements of skepticism. When we got to Rwanda, and I'm really glad I was part of that experience because I went through the Genocide Memorial. I was privileged to sit under the voice of President Kagame. And we saw a country that was now waiting for things to be at a particular level in order to get going. Rwanda received over 23,000 people, and every household in Rwanda received delegates. I stayed in the home of the Rwandan family. The hospitality, the organization, the structure, and the system that I experienced in 2007, as far back as that, from that time until today, to see the transformation in Rwanda, it's mind-blowing. And what you've done is demonstrated that we're not defined by our conflicts. We're not defined by our difficulties. We're defined by our willingness to move past them and to move forward. And you've done something great on the continent of Africa, demonstrating that. And congratulations to President Kagame and yourselves for the efforts you've made. You've given us lessons to learn from, and we continue to learn from those lessons. We've also, as you said, have had history of conflict, and we've overcome. We've had successive elections demonstrating the democracy of Liberia, demonstrating our commitment to peace and stability, and us deciding that we're not going to wait until we have the 5-star hotels and all the skyscrapers, but we're going to take on an arrest agenda for inclusive development that prioritizes sectors that can transform our economy, diversify our economy, create jobs, and ensure that Liberians are on a pathway to accelerated development. So we can learn from Rwanda, Rwanda can learn from us, and that's what cooperation is about. Taking the best from Rwanda, the best from Liberia, us sharing those experiences, and taking them forward for shared prosperity for our people. The agreements we signed today are a step in that direction to continue to deepen that relationship, to continue to move forward, learning from each other and growing together. The Africa Continental Free Trade area for us is an opportunity. And I would say the important thing for us here today is to show that Africans can do it. We can work together, we can cooperate, and we can ensure that we advance our various agendas. Economic diplomacy is one of the major thrusts of our foreign policy right now, over the last 2 years. How do we attract Rwandan companies, Rwandan investors into Liberia? Our arrest agenda identifies areas where we need to ensure not only government policy frameworks and actions to accelerate development, but where investors can find opportunities in agriculture, in sanitation, hygiene, energy, tourism, and promoting tourism from the perspective of domestic and international tourism. We look forward to increasing trade and investment between Liberia and Rwanda. And we see our students in Rwanda, over 3,000 Liberian students in Rwanda, where you've been very gracious to our students. We see the opportunity of our students there as an opportunity for cultural diplomacy, to look at how we share our culture with you, you share your culture with us, how we learn from each other. And we see it also as an opportunity for us to deepen those ties. Thank you for the support they have received. Your government has been very supportive of their tenure there, and what you're doing in terms of education diplomacy, I think is very important. We hope that Rwanda will have a deeper presence in Liberia. We also look forward to having a diplomatic presence in Rwanda. We hope that we can get some support from your government to help us to do that in terms of a location, office space for the Chancery, residence for Consul General, and looking at the possibility of giving us that support at least for a minimum of 3 to 5 years, so we can come in and set that up and then take it forward from there. We believe that the long-standing relationship we have had is going to see the best yet to come. We believe that the agreement we signed last year with you and this that we signed today now puts us in the pathway to deepen those sectors. We're happy that your security personnel came also as part of this mission. They're meeting with our security personnel in terms of intelligence sharing and so forth. This is very important as we approach the UN Security Council seat, and as we approach the issues around analysis on the continent and looking at the various regions of the continent, the various conflicts on the continent, and how we can play a part towards a just and peaceful world. We look forward to the political dialogue with Rwanda to understand some of the issues in your part of our continent, and to ensure that all of us work together as we're going forward on an African seat. We represent Liberia, we represent you. We represent Africa. We're not going there only as Liberia. We're going there with the full knowledge that we represent the continent, and continental voices must be heard. And going forward also with the push that there should be permanent seats for Africa on the UN Security Council, pushing for UN Security Council reform in a way that truly reflects equity as it relates to the global picture. We do appreciate your coming. As you said, we were walking, you said Liberia is so green. Liberia is very green, and that greenness represents the prosperous land, fertile soil. We have one of the largest rainforests. We have the largest rainforest in West Africa, one of the largest on the continent. And these are all opportunities. We have so many gaps in terms of technology, in so many needs in relation to innovation, and we look forward to learning from you in those areas as well. I thank your ambassador, who's been very, very engaging. He's very active, keeps a close relationship with the ministry, and we look forward to working much closer in the years to come.
Thank you. At this juncture, the two ministers will go to the podium for photo shoot, and others can follow up forward. And set up your notes.
Yes. Thank you.